Marcus, is we want to be part of impacting the people that we see on every day too. You know, that's important for us as well. And there's a lot of people in need that we know too, and that's that's something that makes us very proud to be able to help them as well. You know, something like that. I think that's a good point.
I was just, one last thing, I was wondering where the perks come in, because I noticed it was talked about before what Kids Helping Kids does.
Yeah.
So I was wondering how that is played in, like where that should be said.
I think that I think it's right coming with you with the ask. I think that was right, Nick. What I liked is you did jump into the perks right before actually qualifying some things. The importance of did you talk about the perks before the people you helped?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. You don't want to do that. In fact, the people you help should come up sooner. You shouldn't even be doing that. You can say though, as you've heard, there's a lot of people that we help, and that's because of the success of our events, and that's what we wanted to really come and talk to you about, is how you can help us. And I would fall even focus less on the perks. I think you could say, we would like for you to be our title sponsor. There's a very comprehensive, a really fun and important recognition package that includes lots of great things like advertisements, shout outs from the stage, seats at the event, but most importantly, we know what really is going to make a difference to you. It's the same thing that's going to make a difference to us, and that is how we can help people. And so that's why we're asking you to be our title sponsor at $25,000. Right?
Yeah.
So you don't need to do the roster. In fact, this is where you can say, you can have a piece of paper that says these are the benefits. Give a little example and then get right into it. And you did that well. You brought it right back to, we know that's not why you do this stuff though. That was great. I was really glad to hear you say that.
And I thought another thing that was really good is when you made the ask is what will happen is people on this side of the table will start asking questions. And what you did really well was qualify how that support, what that will translate into in terms of your future goals. That's really, really powerful when you're listening and you're deciding whether or not to make a contribution.
Okay, so let's talk about some other comments. So we talked about the ask. You got to make the ask. That helps everybody involved. And one thing that I would love for you to do, Nick, when you make the ask, because it is such an important part of this conversation, is usually when I make the ask, because usually I'm the number 3 in this mix at the Music Academy, and I'll slow down. I'll get a little reflective, which you did, which was great, because it came from a very genuine place when you were talking about the student that just died this past weekend. And when I'm doing the ask, I'll stop too, and I'll say, we really need somebody that believes in what we do, believes in us, and will help us. And that's why we're here to talk to you, and that's why we want you to be. And you notice I'm talking a little bit slower. I'm looking at you right in the eye, and I'm saying, and that's why we really need your help. And that's why we would love for you to be our title sponsor. We think you're the right corporation to do that. That's good. That just kind of makes it like, okay, we're getting kind of serious here. It's yes, it's a fun event, but we're doing something important here, and we want you to be part of that. And so I wrote that just kind of to say, we actually need you. It's not just a great opportunity. We need your help. That's what we're trying to accomplish here. On your opening too with the roadmap, because I love that. I mean, Sean just nailed it. What we do, how we do it, how you can be a part of it, and then make sure you say, and then we want to make sure we leave plenty of time so you can ask us any questions that you have at all. So again, they know what we do, how we do it, how you can be a part of it, and then we really hope you'll ask us a lot of questions about our program, because we're really excited about it and we want to share with as much as possible. And that way they know that there'll be a chance to ask questions. Why is that a good reason to do that?
So that they can be thinking of questions as they're going along and hearing.
Yeah.
Makes it more conversational too. It's not just us presenting something, but they can ask questions afterwards.
Right. Have you ever been in one of those when you've been trying to say something and somebody starts asking you questions and you're not ready for them to ask you questions yet? It's really annoying. So what you're doing is basically you're saying, so don't ask any questions right now. Well, you'll have your opportunity later. So sometimes that's nice. They might anyway, but at least you're trying to help them in that timeline.
And the other thing that does, it establishes you as the driver's seat for the
As the
meeting,
leader.
which is very, very
You're the
important.
CEO. That is
when
such a
you're
great
in
point.
A solicitation is that there's no doubt around the table who is
Who
driving
is the boss lady?
the
Yeah,
conversation.
that's right.
Good.
That's right.
Very
Very good. Good point. Yep.
And it really started to come together. I could tell you were just kind of going down your bullet points,
Yeah.
and then it started flowing because and you got it. So that was really good that you caught yourself. And I just think with more practice, it's going to be so smooth. All of you, I was so impressed with your level of preparedness and just your ease in speaking. It just felt so comfortable.
If I can jump in on that too. All of you. I mean, you are walking in with so many things on your side already and know that. You know that you can just say about anything and this side of the table is going to be like, whoa, youth, it's so great. So just come in with a lot of confidence because, already you're 10, 20 steps ahead of anybody else that's asking these people for money, And so that's very true what John says. And I also want to say, you guys look fantastic.
Yeah.
How respectful, Nick, that you're wearing a tie. That is so great. That tells me, as somebody on this side, man, they take this very seriously. So delighted to see how just put together and professional you all look. Because you know what? That just says that we take this seriously. And we talk about that a lot at the Music Academy, is how image and the way you carry yourself is very important when you're dealing with business and transactions. So you've just nailed that.
And the other thing to remember when you're walking into a solicitation with a meeting with a corporation, you're going to ask somebody for money, is that they know you're going to ask for money, and they're probably a little nervous about it too.
Yeah.
So you're not the only ones that are nervous. That people,
Yeah, and they're taking your appointment because they want to help you.
And they want to
They're
help.
interested.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You've got a captive audience. If you're in the room with them, they want to hear what you have to say, and they're you've got them in a
hardest
place.
part,
Mhm.
getting in the room. That's not
It
the
is.
hardest
That's the
part.
hardest part.
Yeah.
Asking for the $25,000 is actually pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talking about the great things that you accomplish, that's fun. To be able to talk about that stuff. That's great. You're right. Getting in the door is usually takes the most creativity and strategy.
The one thing that doesn't come up in the presentation, which is fun, it probably would have come up in questions, is why you personally. You talk about the group and about kids helping kids, but that wow moment of your personal involvement, why it's important to you. And I would say just be thinking about that as something that is very powerful, that will very likely come up at some point in it, that you should be prepared to answer, because that is an opportunity to really kind of engage the person you're soliciting and why it's really important to you, because it's great what you're doing. All of that is so important, but sometimes hearing the really personal interjections are really nice.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I want you guys to go through this one more time, and then we'll go to group number 2. So why don't you go outside, redesignate whatever you want to redesignate. Doesn't have to be perfect. I know you'll go home and do this too, so that's fine. But let's see, if this,